Nimbola. Vinaka valeva na sema mai na matakalele ni koa. Vavy vinaka viky amin'ny sa andro tiako mengo baka mataka. Sa talanga viky amin'ny sa baka rao moade. Na vono siamo tsiko mikina na nanda hulagi ni koa. O koa sa otina na vakari mesana baka rao me moade. Viky to na taini vuruvuruko. Kita sa kaya andro mena moade. Andro vinaka Joey tiko Solomoni. Andro vinaka kasanita dabudha. Sala na idola, dombola vinaka. Ninguém você aí na link ni veitalanoa andro vinaka vani siradule. Baleta ni veitalanoa don dina na veitalanoa yanga. Baleta ni veitalanoa tiktikina na bola ni marama. Sarto me veitalanoa tina marama bunuai. Sarto me veiwasei oti sa totoka dina. Dr. Nani Sikiti, Dr. Temara Soki Windas. Na mata talanga minggu satu kuni main ni nanggain dua na panel na panel erto wuni wai ni marama kede karto wuni wai marama ni vitike totoka wakawati o dei mande tanratu vi keda na lewe viti ke keda na itu kene visi burubura merto solito na nono ngona na marama wuni wai kede ngo merto mendambe ka vital no bat ke keda aun dola kana nungu marau au lubudi ana marau. Saka tala ni ngwele kina na orto na nonto tuturang. Tababi di binaka be winiwai red kurna wai winiwai suli winimbola winiwai esala bakamata wai bakatala kin be masta kali winindilo ena nonto vitalano ena nungu bata ena ulutanga ni mbula ni turang. Na bulan Desember balete ni sa walak tumingo na embakibo kami bisar nga menda vital na takana nonton bula au maro takani suletu na nunggu bata menda may vital no saranga abakan don sing dala kay buntag membaleti kenda na kawituke na nonton karon ni tiko na nonton bula bulan ni turanga muni lelo rival ni bula na vital no membalete na prostate cancer ni kima mena marama na vital no ni cancer ni katuningone na cancer talangani sudu ia na matakani kuwa se na mbongi ni kuwa bikim to Europe sa siya mamengo na nanto marama bulangi marama totoka ni sausau o Pettine Elena Manuel so bikim nindo baka muriti ko na kau ni TikTok do baka dorti kino ko na nona baka madala membaleta na nona bula membaleta na nona bisinisi na nona mata bubale lemo na ulo tanga bibinaka endo bitano tikina na marama ngo o maro takani baka iyo ko me kero mi bitano ni ko membaleta na bula la ko ruma na tauvimate leu trai ko ngena no mo ko ti o bina kata moli talanoa na no program na nungu talanoa na rere tara dona bula ni dona marama mena takava kene dona kata babi di Vinaka ni tiko dona lebu na marama baka kido pitin mersule na non bula sela ni wala takina o seramasi latiana ra ko na cancer breast cancer sabay iya me baka ngara kene baka raw dona ronga teman ko dona sera talaga te mati sabsab na parte sibuni kay viti marata ka ni sa digta ka mayo pitin na non sere menda na ngante sar ki sabu na sino binaka ni kuwa na non na lang ser ko weekend daw lay sa bulo korta klavena don dona ser toka wana na bundo ser baka daimbe na ser ngo membalete sabu baka pula sar ko weekend ni kede na turanga na marama na dorobo na ngone leo kim ni na lalay mi sabu oni baka rong tung men ang bunga binaka ni kuwa na rongat sarmanta na sere may be lay sa bulo koro na sere ke sabu nimbula binaka.
One more time. O sabu na oro ananabu Rita Mondolori, Tangole Sobuyani, Iaroi, Oile Sabundoro, Jerusalem, Ele Iurata, Iwai Lebule, Nambale Bale, Nambale Bale, Na Inga Ingare, Na Ena Angane, Utomo Sotiau, Niumaida Buya, Isa Nasawa, Nasere Langile, Maina Sabuni Madao, Oroni Vangalala, Vangalala, Nabe Udiwai, Enronro Easa, Vaadiri Lolo, Uni Madawale. Check it out. Mude, sabe. Vinaka. One more time. Vinaka na fakawela. Yesu amai mengoleani inarara iwanga bukale isanu kumbalamu vivili enamai sai winani oronda monile mai wina isawina nambara vilitana au mai sarava isambena lebukalai na weni talileu o kasabule reeni wai mai na batu nandai liu non randelania nivini ngauna leina yana nankoro baaru emuina buchile Maina obo isana obo nesomuina oro arui gorongoro veini uniu empatini wao emosi veiau di oro maule osabu na oro wananamu nenonra orongina na veiro sindanu e wananamu osabu le
Sa rong Vinaka na sere, may beleza volo koro, may baleti sabu-sabu. Enta tu sarto kami sabu-sabu. Ena tikni au totokongo. Rong Vinaka wakang bulit tiko bekem ni kede na ve koro mi sabu-sabu. So bekem ni gosa ni anak tikmena mode, ena matakali lain gosa uti timko na walu ena tin kadio na miniti mai chaman. And na siya masarti kong gobe na nonda marama bula ginto kai. Kasule na nonda ngona may talanoa weekend. Ena ulutanga ni nonda bula na marama. Ena buku ni women's health session vakadoriti ko ena bulongo. Pettine vakambula mata may beira na bakarang.
Isa ni Andra Vinaka, ni Mbulu Vinaka mainonda weekend na sange. Andra chuko mainonda ni Andra Vinaka, noitaka ni mata Vinaka chuko maina mata Vinaka ni kuwa sa yakabi juga ni go ni singa warumbuka ichamani sa ochi chuko na walu. Bernda tekibu au sa keremanda me una vosoti chuko ni kevaka vukimbaleda se vidalati no kosa vaviti me vakani ni ukailoma sana vedingi makitu mandangeni na kosa vaviti kena kosa valang au marau ni maindambe watike Dr. Dina na kavina ni kuwa me umai wasea na nungu lako should I say nunggu journey nunggu tauvimate, marama. I am a gynecology patient, specifically endometriosis. Au kilani o Dr. Tema veiwasei talanga kina na vidana singa sa oti. Au wango ve Dr. T au mara umbetini samai wosa na buniwai ni marama samai talanoa samai solia na waka sama waka buniwai kau samai ndambe talanga me wase ana nungu experience waka patient. Kila doko vata ni sa talnota ki mai ve buniwai senge me tuyanyo kenda na lakuturu mana matia. With Dr. T ni ndola chiku na platform na social media na YouTube na Facebook au sember ni rili kwa na TikTok yon okilando na singango kero sana beso tar talcunga na TikTok na platform me mai veivakananumi sa seng na ngon sa ni kwa sa seng ni ngon ni menda bonita kanonda mate sinonda tauvimate menda do veiwasei. You never know that your sharing is helping the first or the second person that would be listening in. Koya wabin Vinaka we Dr. Tini main dolab chikno na platform sa may tour na buniwai mera veitalanoa chikan yo kenda na patient menda talanoa yani au nuitakan ninda na dona veitalanoa educating. It will be a educating talk this evening or morning. Mentanenge veitalanoa sarchikani.
Don Vinaka, sudah kembali besar Pettine. Terakan orang rabi ni Vinaka tikumen kon veivakan. For your information, warong tal cunga minggu bunui tem.
Wele, kan Vinaka bunui.
Andrea Vinaka bunui tem. Thank you for joining us this morning. Okila ni sema takalele sartu kumo Australia. Vinaka balik merampuni wai meramatau. Na nomu veiwasei talanga terike mamsar bakan lebu. Na sar-sar tiko na nonton me veitalanoa. Vinaka balik besar ya. Pettine sebenarnya na veitalanoa tak na ulutanga membaleta na nomu tauvimate. Ramadanga ni pamatal tekem ni manta weekenda. Na nomu koro kornivasu kena bonua susumekena.
Okay, Vinaka. Me bakani tukun chiko Dr. T na vangu Pettine Manuel au marama ni sabu-sabu korni kai loma i kasavu au basu i nreketi maduwata i na korna babatu au ebe mamani nunggu bula mai nunggu sekali lai au susu tungawi au susu mai be nunggu nake nunggu ta kito ndo tunga mai nito vale ni nunggu nau i kasa i benau ya i sabu-sabu ge nunggu laku i secondary kito sato kisombu nan nito ngele i wainu numbua oya una ngone leo ni veniu kena velonga yangona kitondo veniu were en nunggu kala i bula tunga maram oya ando tukuna tunga oya una farm girl sus farm longa new longa yangona longa ndalo new humble beginnings
Rani pa madaltak madamay na orto na vitalini nomu tumbu-tumbu din na raw wat kirto na talin.
Nunggu ta na Donald Manuel turangan ni sabu-sabu wasu i korta sere. Nunggu na marama ni maduwata reketi kue tiki-tiki kai Switzerland ve mama
Dina, isa daw bulan daw bulu Vinaka may korta seri daw bulu Vinaka may way nunu wakang bulu tal nga nambabatu na sana paturango matuwata siya ni mula kina o kasabu na sige Vinaka ko Vinaka bu Pettine no mo yalon dina mo may veiwasei tu na sige ko tala takong tama wabuli madive.
O ya huli nga may sabu-sabu nung primary school huli may sayadana chikungkona na sabu-sabu public school. Nanguna ni nung huli sayadana tukina na Buddha government school. Kevaka ni kay sabu-sabu kona berni ko yadan na airport sabu-sabu ento na korni huli ni ko sangay sir sombu yani mbamba may mola ko may tao ni mola ko taken ni natewa beran na airport chicken ento na primary school ke mami lele saranga ke mami huli may kya nunggu ta huli talanga may kina keto sangay may huli ani keto na vitadini keto leva ya un gasto ento chiku keto sangay taraban do atangane chiku ini silandi sangay tarabu chiku na dotal na lewa chiku goy batiki nungu na ke nungu tai vici kwa chiku talanga mi Australia sangay ngone tondo na tangane chiku ngatal talanga mi viti chiku isuba.
Sa totoka saranga Vinaka nakabaliw na no sema ya kabimbi menda do nanumira talaga na linga di susu Pettine ando kelani no do veitalanoa ondo listan chinga no bono susumiki na tarno takamanda na no tukuna na no mumbula ni viliniu bat kena tani.
Isa koeng o kenda nangona ya ndo tukuni weekend na school holiday kenda do tangi kenda do tangi ndo tukuni weekend na school holiday bambimbi ni ko chugoi boarding school chugoi boarding school ni ko sakila chugoi ni ko chugoi boarding school daban do la ko may nangon niya kabi sa sukana huli na were long atavio ka may boarding school. Gisala ko may na school holiday kanda sa tangin da sampai sa ko iwalim bet sa warak kita tumikan na sel ni didiniu na mataywa na selikaba da sare da tunga na buniniu na waniniu na fayan raya ket so nangono mendo Talanoa ka untuk tanya kilambet ni if it wasn't for that upbringing I wouldn't be here today. Ngono ni ko ang ito kuni weekend na nangon ni tamba the age of kids nowadays getu kuni beira mandanga mera sa veleti se mera kote tu banambenu kenda sa visa sa wosa tiko but that is our upbringing iyo kitondo ayundo diziniu ndo umbininiu na fayan raya. The best part was on the Fridays. Friday ya sa inaitao ni naniu melevolitaki. Iko sa kilana bongo na ice cream etarava maya. So that's our motivation from Monday to Thursday. Kita sa kila fayan raya didi naniu fayan raya kenta la kitao ni na Friday. Talika na ice cream, talika na bongo. Da kubu-kubu yani. Ya sember na tasil. Nangunisala. Kenda se kubu-kubu yani tau ni. Dayaga ni tau ni. Data ka mnangabang ko na matanda. Lulut nga may kinakubu. Chanda kubu-kubu les telemenia kavi. Yo esetiko ya yan ambula ya. That's your upbringing. Damani kubu-kubu tu badava. Talan ronro tu na taka we listen to our parents and that is the motivation that encourages to be where we are today.
Sentia na sara Pettine ke balbal na no mo re totoka tu gorbe chaman na kubu se tu binaksar nga misap-sap.
Goya mengintoles talibal mengintolang menakubu asan tu bangang go velubengu. Ngona kubu ni tasil. Yuko sengwandu ni sotava na kubu ni ngoni sala kwa senga ni tasil. Yeah.
So those humble beginnings, eh? Humble beginnings. Iya. Kembali balen na kakere lingat, eh? O na lako na niu na didi niu na mbuno, eh? Kata-kata ni singa, eh? Iya. Baka manda na non ro baka tabulo ro tao na, eh? Nangona yan, na kena bimbibi kim do baka bitadini. Mondoro lako na didi niu bat kena bili niu.
One thing about my parents, none of my parents worked. None of my parents worked. My dad, a bit, he was in one of the super yachts. But that was in the 1900s. Gay Ochimaya, none of them were employed. So Metumbula, we were brought up the hard way. If you don't have it, you don't ask for it. Learn to accept the situation we are in. We are still surviving. God is the provider. That was my parents' upbringing. If you do not work hard, you'll never achieve what you're working for. And this is what they always tell us. You see what we're doing now? Do you want to do that in 20 years' time? Do you want to come back and cut copra? Do you want to come back and fire dryer? Do you want to come back and take the cane knife? They don't say it and they don't mean it in a bad way, but they are showing you how hard it is. And they don't want you to go through that because they went through it already. You were just there behind them, and they are showing you how hard it is. And they don't want you to go back there and do it. That was my parents' upbringing. Magumna na marama lotu, nagutana turanga lotu. So everything, God was first. If you don't have it, pray for it. You will get it. If you are sick, pray. That was my parents' upbringing for us.
Si Vinaka balik sa Pettine, sangay baka taba nangon sa wulikina, mo sa laki bangar da kadaka, tika bubada ba na numdo vital no ibalik ro tauna.
I will always laugh because I'm sitting down here today with being half educated.
And you're gonna be the voice of many, yeah?
Yes. For one thing, for me, I believed in talent. I believe in working hard. Education is there, but you cannot force education on a person because that's when they lose interest. If your child is not doing good in education, there is other ways that you can motivate your child. Since I'm the eldest, nangona keto meu sale secondary kina keto sato kisongo iwainu mbua. So my sister and the youngest out of all of us need brother orowa vuli talanga mai wainunu. I think so. My sister spent 2 or 3 years in Wainunu and then she left for secondary school. But my brother, the youngest one, he spent majority of his time in Wainunu in the school. Our form 3, kina form 6, Sabu secondary school. I sat twice for my form 6 because I didn't like my first marks. But since my parents wasn't well off.
Mm.
I stayed home. Sa tiko na huli, and I stayed home because my dad told me, I don't have money to pay for your school fees. So I said, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to stay home and I'm going to help you too. 2 months, nagutui valley. Imagine all my other siblings back in school. I spent 2 months at home in Wainunu, Mbua. In the mornings, we woke up. Naliliwa, na tengu, na suosu ni karasi when you're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you have to walk crossing 4 rivers to get to the farm. I cried. I cried. And then you come home and then you have to cook and then you have to wash. And then sometimes my mom is gone. She has things to do and I'm alone at home with my dad. So I'm taking over her job. I cried because I never knew how hard staying home was. My uncle, and I will always be grateful to him, my grandmother's son. He lives in New Zealand. Uncle Dennis, if you guys happen to watch this live afterwards, I am thankful and I am grateful. My grandmother, she felt sorry for me. So she called her son and asked if he could pay my school fees. So 2 months after the school started, I went back to sit again for my Form 6. And then I passed. And then I went to secondary school. And then I went to catering school. I went to catering school. Again, my parents are not rich. My parents don't have money. They were so concentrated on my other siblings, because I said I could take care of myself. So I went to Suva. Can you imagine? I never went to Suva. I didn't know what Suva was because we never went anywhere except the farm and home and Wainunu and my grandmother in Savu Savu. I didn't know where Suva is or how Suva was until I went to go to FNU. Then I went to catering. I had the best lecturer, Apofil Herder. He is one of the fashion designers back home in Fiji. He was my motivation. He was kicking my ass. But before I could finish my school and sit for my exams, I dropped out. Then I started to work and support myself while being in Suva. I'm thankful to my cousin, if she's going to be watching this live, Lana Simpson. She was one of the first people who gave me a job in Suva. I used to work at the Rock. I don't know what they call it nowadays. It's the Rock Cafe. I worked. I dropped out of school. I started working, and then I started working from then till today. I left. I went through toxic relationships, domestic violence. Then I had a job in Lauvala Island in Tavioni, and that's where I met my husband, and that's why I ended up in this country.
Ni sa Pettine and Rendre ko lang ko to rumah. Who knew that you'll be logging in from Germany right now? What a beautiful story. What a beautiful story.
All but God. I can say that. All but God.
And now you're logging in from Germany, but I know you lived in other countries as well before you came there. Ano siya matangamay? O tiyan daw saan kailan din na ulutangan ni Endometriosis ni kuha. Rong-rong binakantina.
After I left Fiji, 2008, if I'm correct, we went to Canada. We worked in Canada. Mind you, my working all over the world, no experience. I had experience, no educational background. I never passed my catering school of hospitality. I never even sat for any exam. I have been working by the grace of God. We left to go to Canada. Imagine coming out of a country, Fiji, and working in Canada, experiencing the cold for the first time. I worked in a restaurant in the hotel. I never left hospitality, even though I didn't pass my exams. I never left working in hospitality. I couldn't see myself doing any other job except hospitality. Maybe it's in my blood, it's in my veins. And then from Canada, we went to Abu Dhabi. Upon arriving in Abu Dhabi, I found out I was pregnant with our daughter. She's now 14 years old. We left because I couldn't stand it anymore, because everything was too preserved, you know. You cannot just sit and breastfeed your child sitting there in town, you know, like you just sit there and breastfeed your child. No, I had to take my child into the washroom and breastfeed her there. She had to be hidden, and we had to be hidden while breastfeeding. So I just got fed up from all that. It was just suffocating. So we left. So if you're planning on going to live in the countries, Middle Eastern countries, just a heads up. Then we left end of 2010. I think it was beginning of 2011. We left for Vanuatu. We were able to move around because my husband had a work agency that gave him job. They always ask him, where do you want to work? Do you want to go to this country? So he would pick countries that would be suitable for me and for our child. So we went to Vanuatu because he knew we were close to home. I was just how many hours flight away from home. So we did that for 2 years. And then there was an opening in Fiji. Khorasan Resort. And that's when we went back home, Savu. And I was happy because I was just a bus ride away from home, from my mom and dad. Or they would just come to town and get off home, and I was with my mom and dad for almost for a year. And end of 2012, we decided to come back to Germany. Because then I had to start with the daycare, and we need to get her into the German system of schooling and everything. And that's how we ended back here in Germany.
Sa totoka Vinaka levo Pettine no veiwasei e viva con getindin vambulu chubi kemni na sema tiko mai le varmara takana no Talanoa e tarir vale ni sobir talangara la koduruma dine ni osanga ni o buli ana buli ngandrevi mo varawata meno mustivi kiti no degree na veka kede na kau sotava already tiko na kalo e tango maki ko tiko bakalonga tiki ko tiko e na buno keda ngolikin babi ni Vinaka Vinaka vena turanga wa timuni vena nomungane leo pakitin kava na non rovito ko ni tiko veiko Pettine na nomule bulu tungo na burbur lim me rope me chamania Pettine na non da rovitalo ni ko na nomusati ngor me chamani o sema tamai na nomusati ko wakila na tauvimate o aso tavatiku quando na veitalanoa takaniku na endometriosis ya teka mo manda bakadaba talo na takman
Oh, oya wando weekend na marama nanda valenibula. I will there would be some things I would be elaborating on. Would be graphic or maybe some would feel uncomfortable, but you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. So I will share my experience, and that is raw, and I would never sugarcoat it because it involves your health. After being in Germany for 4 or 5 years, and it's always starting 2 days before my period. That's when it starts. And all that time, that 5 years, it's period cramps. Period cramps. Period cramps, you can handle it. You can handle period cramps. And then when you are on your period, it gets worse. It gets worse. Especially me, or when you go and do number 2, everything is just painful. Everything is just painful. But during that 5 years, I was able to withhold and withstand the pain, I would say. And when it happened every month, so imagine for 5 years, every month I was going through that. And I would say, oh, this is just now it will finish. And it does. But I could feel it. The pain will still be there. It won't be as much and as painful as when you are having your menses or when it's about to start. But the pain is always there. It will be hanging around. On the wakilani, my mood swings would get worse every year. On the 6th year, 2018, February, I think it was end of February, it started again. And then it came to a point where I couldn't walk anymore with the pain. Ni sa la ko ivalilay sa ochingaya au sa ndavonga na floor ilam ni walisili. So I could regain my strength. I could balance out the pain, and then I would crawl from the bathroom to the living room. Orang nanunggu vitamani raw sando kilani sando ya may nangono vaya nanunggu ndavo kede may na top floor sando kau sempu may na living room. Au sando mo tunga na living room beten mi oroni raw via na la kuchukui volvo ndo ndrendre na dhambe dhaki chuko na stairs. So the kitchen and everything is downstairs sando raw tunga viao. The day I couldn't walk anymore, I cried. Au sa tukuna we wachingu au sa tukuna we kwaya. Ker ntar sala sarang nikwa sarang awalengango. Ntar sala ko we unwai. Bethany, I feel that something is not right. Something is not right. De Vinaka ni ma sema tegelele idada tikuna vanua. Kero sala ko au dhuru yani sa tukuni via meu sala ko meu scan ge lurai ni on my right ovary. I had a cyst of 5 centimeters. Ke wamperani another day, it would have burst inside.
Kalau nggak tinulak ko totoo, Pettine.
Yes. That was aundo tukuna na mosi ni basudu. I thought that was painful. I thought that was painful. And this is one pain I would never wish on another woman to experience. I would never wish upon another woman to experience. 5 surgeries later, and I'm still fighting it till today.
Kaya sa tukuna ya, the pain is elele na mosi na bakasudo. Kaya na marama ta warong chuk miniku ay dakila na bakasudo dar kamus. Kaya sa lele na mosi ya, kimba na mosi gur sambu chuk Vinaka.
Imagine sitting in the toilet to pee and you feel like your uterus is about to fall out. It pushes, and it's not only from your uterus, it's also your bowel. Everything is just paining there, and it pushes.
Então, comento comigo o Dr. Tema Pettine. Nakawala ko tema kati mo ko the pain you are now feeling after your menses is called neuropathic pain.
Yes.
Kako it's real and it needs treatment. So binakabali mo Dr. Tema babi ni nakating mo ko ebe kimo ni Pettine ano mo alon day mo wasya na kay ko lakaturo. Singkara.
Yes. This is the first time I'm going in depth with this conversation. There's only certain people that I've shared this with. I talk about it sometimes, but I don't go in depth. I don't talk about my in-depth story until today.
Man, thank you, Pettine, for your courage. It takes to be courageous to be here in person. Plus also, one or two women right now may be going through exactly what you're going through. Go to the hospital straight away.
Hospital. If you know period, kenda na kila na period cramps, and I please, if I am not correct, Dr. Tema, please, Dr. Tema, please correct me. Period cramps, there is cramps and pain. These are two different things. Namosi, cramps and pain is two different things. When you feel in pain, please go. I have a cousin in the UK. I think she's listening also on the live. She has been going through it also for the last 2 months. On the second month she had it. I told her go, she didn't go. And then the 3rd month she had it, she couldn't walk, almost couldn't walk. And that was the time she went to the doctor. Today she had her scan. In a week time, she's going to be having her results.
Wow.
So you have to go to the doctor. You have to go. Yeah. There is no two ways about it. There's no, I will go on the next one. Let me see if it gets better on the next one. Let me see if it gets better on the next one.
Wow.
It only gets worse. I will talk about that because I waited after 5 years to go to the doctor, and it doesn't get better. It only gets worse. Came to a stage where I couldn't walk anymore.
I'm just thinking of that 5 years of waiting that you were, or you experienced na limonambakia. Na vibula, month in, month out, you were going through that pain. What was, narakanong wasa tapiti?
I could say today when people ask me how is the pain, I will say I'm okay because I'm immune to it. I've gotten used to it. Right now, as we are talking, I have been home for the last 4 months. I am tukun cukup with Dr. T. Oya usa crippled tiko. But yes, I am on a walking stick at the moment. Not because of endometriosis, because of something else. But this is the thing. People are asking me every day, how are you? I tell them I'm okay. Because for me, being that strong person tells my story. If I keep telling people, no, I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I'm this, I'm that, it makes me feel weak. And I cannot be weak. But you know what? It's okay to not be okay. I've learned to call my parents and cry on the phone and say, I'm not okay. I've learned to call my sister and tell her I need to talk to you. And this is one thing. I will speak for us. We are very good at hiding our sickness. I am guilty. We are very good at hiding our sickness. This is one question that you need to ask if you're a mom. Do you want someone else to look after your child when you are gone? Do you want someone else to take up that position? You could have avoided it. You could have avoided it if you went to the doctor on time. You know, this is the thing. And this is one thing that keeps me going, my daughter. You have a lot to live for. Prevention is better than cure. Endometriosis, and Dr. Tema can elaborate on that. It has no cure. It has no cure. But it can be prevented. You can slow the growth. You can keep it there at that easing spot where it doesn't have to give you pain anymore.
I just want you to go back to the time when you couldn't walk. Kani sema chukumingo Dr. Tema, tarutal chukumingo senimbo weningole, tarang chukumoko na nomusa singlo nilako, what's the connection that it has to when a kasagali detected when a nom ovary?
It was the pain. The pain from my ovary and from my uterus and from just from my lower stomach made my legs weak. The pain prevented my legs from holding me up. And that's when I said, na mo siniba sudu, there's no comparison. You can walk around. You'll be walking around. After that, but that pain, it came to a stage where I couldn't carry the weight of the pain anymore.
Din. Sangay bata pa mula ko balimbulan nirto sangay skente ki kemuni sangay loray na bude chukumena no ovary. What decision you have to make in terms of what they told you for mesadak sarang na surgery? That was the only option.
That was the only option at that moment, because there was they had to take it out, the cyst. They had to take it out and do tests. That is the very thing that they're gonna do. That was February, end of February 2018. I had it's laparoscopy surgery. They don't open my whole stomach. You get a camera into your belly button, your lower belly button, and then you have on the side of your the bottom of your stomach. On the two side, you have another 2 incisions inside. Kaya the erto we selling an array that you're gonna camera. There's a big monitor in the operating theater, and then the camera is in there inside your belly button, your umbilical cord. And that's how they remove everything. You don't have a big surgery. So
Yeah,
I've had
similar to what Dr. Tema talked about, eh?
the little, yes, but it's little, but it's very painful. Very painful.
How long was the surgery?
Oh man, the first one, I think it was hour and a half or 2. Yeah. But I had 2 surgeries in that year, 2018. I had to go on pills. This is when I had the first surgery, they sprinkled powder, and this slows the growth of the cyst of the endometriosis. The first one and the second one that I had was outside of my uterus. The one Dr. Tema was explaining the other day. You have your uterus wall, and then outside of it. So that was sprinkled with powder to slow the growth, and I was on hormonal pills. But then I don't know what happened. It came back. So that's when I had the second surgery in November.
Of the same year?
The same year. December, that same year, December, I went in again. But I wasn't allowed to have surgery because the November one is a Merni Hill. So I was on hormonal pills. And this also balances the growth and everything else that's working inside your uterus, especially your hormones. In 2019, I had another surgery. 2021 was my last surgery.
After COVID?
Sorry, let me correct you, 2022.
2022. Sandin. Wow. So now you're healing better?
Yes. I was supposed to have another one 2 months ago, because this time they both came on my both ovaries. I have gone through all the hormonal pills you can imagine. Some made me very sick. Some made me have irregular cycles. So my gynecologist had to work on what was suitable for me. Because apart from that, I have other health conditions. So my medication needs to balance out. So now, like I think Dr. Tamo was mentioning a pill that would cost you 300 Australian dollars, if I'm right. She was mentioning that night. So that's the one I'm taking at the moment. That seems to work.
And then it's working now, eh?
Seems to work. After 1 month of taking that, it has dissolved the 2 cysts that was on my both ovaries.
Okay. And what have the doctors said? Will it keep regrowing? Is that what they're thinking, or it'll be suppressed?
No, it's supposed to be suppressing it as long as I'm taking it. And with the pills, you are taking it every day. You cannot miss.
Wow.
Every day. Yeah. You cannot miss.
Kati ko mo Dr. Tema na Marina. Eh? Marina Devans?
I
Okay.
I have no idea what the name is, but it's I can't send my daughter, she's sleeping.
Is saya ko babi di pinakamatangay na vikaniwaset ko. And in terms of cost, you are covered through your health insurance in Germany?
Yes. Yes.
God damn.
I am.
Wow. So, listubital na ulutangan mo ko na mood swings, eh? I know you have your husband and your daughter with you. How do they cope with your mood swings? Well, this is a real question, eh? Ni yung dito ko ibale. Ni da dunu mai na bikabaya. How do you cope with that, Pettine?
I can say they've managed so well till
Yes.
today. They know already how it is when it comes. It's either they will just let me be until when it started, I always tell them, just let me come down on my own. It will come down. Because since I've had so many surgeries, my hormones are not stable. They are all over the place. I think only when they come together, that's when they make me explode. But when they're all over the place, I think I'm happy when they're all over the place. But yes, though that's another thing. The hormones. Your hormones is everywhere except being all together.
Hindi na. Hindi ka bimbing kung balatin ni rabarang talaga ng mga sa turanga. Eh?
I know. I was gonna say that. Yes.
Yes, tila?
This is good.
Berkelawir na namudun Rusia na numunay lomu sa dapat numuray Pettine.
And this is a good thing. And there is no harm and there is no shame to take your husband with you to your doctor's appointment, because they need to be educated by the gynecologist what you're going through. They need to know. I know kenda na marama nindala ko winiwai o ikonga. Only you go in. No, you can take your husband with you.
Kita kena ketukota may day of medicine niya, si Madam.
Yes. It's your right to take your husband with you. So when things happen, he knows why, how to go about it. And man, kenda na turanga. You need to take time for your wives. Look at all the little, spend time with them so you can know them better. especially when it comes to these kind of things, because they are the mother of your kids, mother of your child.
Don't you know bimbi o tukun mea Pettine nataro? Would you like someone else to look after your children? Don't dia nataro bimbia. Menta po soto chuko na mosi will take your life. Saragay tu menangoni.
Yeah, that was one thing that pushed me, my daughter. That was one thing that pushed me. I have one daughter. I have one child. Through endometriosis, I had 4 miscarriages. I almost lost her. If you are, I know that we love our Fijian medicine. I know. Kenda talita kanonda waiva viti. Na sa sinira mai valenibula waiva viti. Sa wawa manda valenibula to sengunu davango. Na davanga e sulia mai onau watike tuka inda ngunu pamanda liu. O chinga mai moti tu na mo sindangule davatu. You don't know what's going on inside because your Fijian medicine nananda waiva viti esini sulia mai na screen wangu ange tukunu veiko na kango elenga chukikya na kango elenga chukikya. The Fijian medicine won't pinpoint. I can say that because when I go to Fiji, my grandmother overdoses me with Fijian medicine because I have pain everywhere. I remember when I was feeling this pain, donanga una ko ibiti kito wanda motoka mele kaumi na wewa biti ndo Talanoa. That's my grandmother. And then I didn't know what was going on inside of me. I didn't know what was going on inside of me. And that's what Fijian medicine will not show you. So please go first to the doctor. Get yourself checked. Know what is wrong with you. There is no harm in taking your medication given to you by your doctor and taking Fijian medicine on the side. There is no harm. It will never do you wrong. And avalanga niko sa wele keve sa le wele we wuniwa yukungele ngungu chikona waiva viti. Our health, you know what? We are replaceable. Know that. Any work environment, any place you are replaceable. So your health comes first. I had to learn the hard way. And I don't want it for you. I had to learn the hard way. And I am regretting it today. So I don't want that for you. People thought I was sick.
Yeah, continue.
I always thought I had a problem. That's before I knew I had endometriosis. I thought I had a problem because I never liked, I lost, my appetite was gone. I was always tired. There was a lot of things that was just going on. My life was all over the place. I went how many times to the doctor to check me, to ask him, am I okay? Is there something wrong? He tells me you are okay because I was going to the wrong doctor.
So kambimbi mola kana bunu ni marama
Exactly. You in Fiji, you have you go to the big hospitals, how do you call it, outpatient. That's for cuts and bruises and whatnot. And then you have your gynecologist. Please, ladies, go to your gynecologist. even if you feel you and keda na marama, we will feel that something is wrong. Trust me, you will feel that something is wrong somewhere there inside.
And follow your gut, eh? Di satu ko namin doon nakasalenga, go for it.
Don't wait. Oyo la ko next year ang gilingun way wawiti wa watu manda. Kito nigela ko listing sudo na koro, kito nigelingun way wawiti. The longer you wait, the bigger it grows.
Anti na sarang Dr. Nani Sikiti baka ano chukumengo Pettine. She's a gynecologist. May luto ako. Boleh Vinaka Nani, Dr. Nani. Tukun chukumo ko ya talita ko na no veiwasei. Kako endometriosis is a horrible and painful disease. It can cause chronic pain and infertility.
Yes.
There is also a link to cancer from it, but rare. But it's
Yeah.
difficult to treat. Yes.
Yes. I have to live with it for the rest of my life. I am thankful and grateful, and I thank God that I am not feeling pain for the last few months. So yes, I am grateful. God is good. Exactly. That is a good point. Dr. Tamo just wrote. Yes, you can still have endometriosis despite a normal ultrasound scan. Yes, I would request. Can I say this on Facebook?
Yes, say it.
And this is what I told my cousin in the UK as well. I would request, when you go for your scan, please ask your doctor, please ask your gynecology to use the vaginal scan, the scan that goes inside you. This is where you see everything. And this is where you see everything also. Yes, keep pushing. When you know that something is wrong, keep pushing. When you go to the doctor, you have every right to tell the doctor, no, do it this way, because I feel something is not right here. Do it this way. It's all right.
Totoka sarangay. Binaksarangan ko rin may dakilay ni na scan nila mo na kaya ng dindo na ultrasound Chiko na scan nga na kete nga dan tabo nga tiko ko na kaya ko meduru. Ko eduru ya ko binaka dari de kaya na ka.
Yes. I that's from my experience. I think my cousin people had the same thing done to her today in the UK.
Yes, I'm sure your cousin will be so grateful to you because I know you are pushing it too from this side. And there are lots of women watching too today. Don't man mo basta ni may bakal nga tek vera men nandor sa vitalanoa ko sa kami din na Pettine.
One thing I would say to motivate us women, your sickness does not define you. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you look weak. It doesn't make you a bad wife. It doesn't make you a bad mom. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a better mom. It makes you a better person. It makes you a better wife. It makes you a better sister. It makes you a better auntie. I'm speaking for us women. Na no mumandua, na no murere, nila ko valenibula will never take your sickness away. If you are a mom listening tonight, this morning, if you don't want someone else to replace you as a mom, Please stand up and go. I had a cousin reach out to me. She was flown to India for this. She contacted me after I had my third surgery, if I remember right. She contacted me. The endometriosis was preventing her from having kids. Today, she's pregnant with her fourth child. She went, got her surgery done in India, and guess what? She came back to Fiji. See? First you go to the doctor, then you come back and you drink Fijian medicine. Not drink Fijian medicine first and wait for it to go away, because it will never go away. Kaya do visa utaka na process. Saya nga. Una weni mate wabiti na tunga kenda na mate mai na chunga na wai wabiti. But it's you first. Go to the doctor. Get yourself sorted. Know what is wrong with you. That's the first thing you should do. Know what is wrong with you. Then you are able to maneuver yourself around that.
Absolutely. But then sangat talindo kilikot. Only you know yourself the most.
Yourself.
Yes.
No one can come and stand beside you. May retungan ibang go, way. Ito vi ko na endometriosis. Lako valenibula. No one, we cannot see that. Through my platform that I used, I talk about these things. This is how I was able to get my cousin. I had to kick, trust me, I'm going to use this. I had to kick her ass so that she can move, because she was drowning herself in painkillers.
Ya.
Gave her the Sabu dialect. So she went. So now we're waiting for her scan results, praying that everything works out. And if something happens and if she has it, I'm glad that it will be resolved early. And she will be in the same boat as me, taking medication every day, which I am happy that she's going to do, because I know it will be contained. But I know she went to get the help earlier than she could get.
Wow.
That goes for every mother and wife and sister and cousin and auntie that is listening tonight. Do not wait. Do not wait. Go. And duanganambula. Your health comes first. Everything else after. Because if you don't fix your health, maybe tomorrow you won't be there. So why are you waiting to make other people happy? Fix you first. Go fix yourself. Fix whatever you feel that is wrong in you. I can speak and I can say that 101 million times, because I went through that. I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard way going through 5 surgeries. And you can have just one surgery, or you don't have to make another surgery. Maybe they will just go in and sprinkle powder and tell you to go on hormonal tablets, and you don't have to have anything removed or nothing. That's when it's still small. I waited till it almost burst, and then they couldn't sprinkle powder anymore. So I had to get it removed. I had to get it tested. And with the hormonal tablets, as Dr. Tema had said in her first in her conversation with you a few days ago. When you are on the pills, keep going. If you know that it's not, the pills is doing something different, making you feel bad, making you feel different, making you feel sick, go back to your gynecologist and ask her or him to give you, this one is not working, it makes me feel like this, it makes me feel like that, it makes me feel like that, I'm bleeding too much, it stopped my bleeding. It will stop your bleeding. If it's giving you irregular, you are having blood spats, you need to go and tell them what it's doing to you. They will give you another one. There's so many hormonal tablets out there. Go back to your gynecologist and tell them what it's doing to you so they can change it. They'll give you another one. And if it doesn't work, they will give you another one until they find that. It took me 6, 18. It took me almost 10 years, 9 years to get the right one, to get the right medication for me.
And you're still here, which is a testimony to that.
And I'm still here. Exactly, Dr. Tema. Exactly. The one I'm taking might be right for me. Can I ask if Pettine is on chemo treatment through? So, Julia, I'm sorry, I don't have cancer.
Well, Julia, but good question, eh?
Question. It's not chemo. I could say, my doctor says some things in German. I don't know how to do it in English. I don't know how to say it in English, but I've been told I'm on hormone therapy. If that makes sense, Dr. Tema, please correct me. I'm so glad you're in the conversation today. I'm on hormone therapy.
Endometriosis is not cancer, so chemo is not a treatment. Vinaka, Dr. Tema.
It's hormone therapy.
Wow. So it's good to keep going back. Keep going back, asking questions, talk to your doctor. The more you talk, the better they know about you too.
I have every 6 months, I have a routine check. I go back through the machines, I get scanned, I get ultrasound done, check if any new development, see if my hormones are still not running wild, and get my new prescription and everything else. Yes. Last option for these women would be to remove uterus and ovaries as last resort. Exactly. I have been trying. I'm going to explain now. I have been trying for the last 5 years to remove my uterus, but unfortunately, they don't advise me to do it because, first of all, it will never take away the pain, and it will never slow the growth because my growth is on the ovaries at the moment. And they don't want to remove my ovaries because that is your hormone machine. That is your hormone machine. So they have given me the hormone therapy to help with this, to have my uterus there and my ovaries there. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful that this medication that I'm on is helping me with all that. Maybe if I'm reaching my end 40s, and when I have the excuse to say that Yeah, my hormones are everywhere, and I'm on menopause. Then I have the excuse, you know, I can remove everything and say, yes, I can do it. So for now, my gynecologist is preserving my my uterus and my ovaries, since my medication, the therapy that I'm on at the moment is working. Yes.
Totoka nice. Vinaka Agnes Tambaiwalu. She's also sharing here Pettine. She had the left ovary removed.
Oh.
Yeah. Due to a sister. So, umutang sa tali tak sarangan na vital nongo. Radin tal elawang gani Dr. Tema and all your wonderful women listening today. What a wonderful privilege to be sitting here listening to Pettine, and listening to someone that went through it. Because,
Yes.
we can read about it, or we can, but to hear it from someone that went through it, whoo, it really hits home.
Yes. This is what I always talk about this. Until you are in that shoe and you have walked that journey, please share your experience. We cannot talk about something that you have no experience on. Esta na lang nga na lasso, na sugar coating and everything else, you know. I would have loved my husband to be here, but he's still at work, because he would just pop in here and he'll complain the whole 9 yards of what of all the torture that he had to go through. He's still going through the torture today, so I told him that's what you signed up for. So
Listen, at talaga na nanda vilomani baka viutini, petine, nanda voce ni aleala, and nan Vinaka sen rakida, when you give your vow, during your wedding, Gosana, this is the moment you're sharing here. Your husband was right beside you all the way through. And just please let him know on our behalf that we thank him and your daughter Angie for being beside you.
Thank you. I will let them know. Yes, he's been with me, sitting down with the doctors. The only time he gets out of the room is when I go through, when I have to get scanned or get my ultrasound. That's the time he leaves the room. Otherwise, he's with me in every doctor's appointment. And this is why I mentioned, it's always good to have your husbands, your partner, your boyfriend, especially your boyfriend. Let him get the hang of what he's going to go through. And if he stays with you through that hard period and then marries you, then keep him. Then he's going to go through that. He's already equipped to go through that process with you.
Totoka saranga. Na bosoto tiko ko, kevaka lomani ko din,
Exactly.
Totoka saranga. Now sa maruta na forum go, makiles bulikiombo. Thank you for joining in to all your wonderful people. Now, sala ko may ko na kerker, meron doon na part 2. Vinaka Hollywood. This is great. But what do you think, Pettine?
Yes, this is one thing I always say. You never stop learning. You never stop learning. Every day you learn. There was a few women that I had conversations with. None of them knew. They only knew that they were having stomach ache and period cramps, until I asked them, please elaborate on your cramps. How is it? Is it okay, Vambi on the right, Vambi on the left? Is it in the middle? How else do you feel? And then I'm telling them, you don't have cramps. You have a cyst or you have endometriosis. Please go to the doctor. Because it doesn't go away. It only gets worse.
dina totoka. It only gets worse. And you went through it for 5 years. O sota
Yes.
tu metong serangan usa singla korau, eh?
And I always say, and I'm going to keep saying it, this is one pain I never wish another woman to go through.
Kena sana.
Iko na tangi, you will cry till your tears go dry. Iko na tangi, inatangi na mosi, esana lako na mosi, you won't feel it anymore. You will get immune to it, and that's a very dangerous thing when you are immune to the pain.
Kaya baru sa tingko matunga na musi.
Ako din ko tu. Hey, period cramps. Okay, set. Next month talent ang sota. 5 years later, can walk.
Sa totokan din na kawi. Datalong ko taro, Pettine, as women in anywhere around the world, we come in the cemetery. Thank you so much for listening in and all your wonderful comments and all our men as well. Thank you. Now, what about the support group for our women? Kla, niliw na nguna sa marama who are listening in dami tong do to kay sarakahi sa Pettine sa bang giti mula ko valenibula. Sagila ko may na rare, sagila ko may na kla na vikavaya. What would you suggest in terms of support groups, whether it's online or whether in your own community? What are your thoughts about that?
I would love, I think this is something that we're going to talk about. I know this is coming up. I know this topic is going to come up, and I know Dr. Temo will get involved. I know this is going to come up. I would love to see more support groups for women, especially for women back home. I would love that when they are feeling some type of way, they are able to contact us. And if we have to sit with you in your gynecology appointment, we are going to sit with you in your gynecology appointment. We are going to be there with you, because that is what support is all about. We won't leave you hanging. We won't leave you hanging. We will be there.
Yes, sir.
And if you have questions, my Facebook is open. Dr. T is here. Dr. Tema is here also on Facebook. I am not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a gynecologist. I am just a simple hospitality worker, but I went through that situation. I went through the experience. I would be able to calm you down from the pain. I would be able to talk you out of the pain. And while I'm talking you out of the pain, I'm kicking you to the doctor at the same time. So you wouldn't even know that you will be walking to the doctor while I'm talking to you.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. That kind of support, moral support.
Yes.
Moral support.
I don't have to be sitting in the taxi with you. I don't have to be sitting beside you or taking or be there with you physically.
Wow.
You know, this is how I did it with my cousin in the UK. Even though I'm an hour flight away, I just had to call her on the phone, and she was crying and rolling on her bed and this and that. I said, no rolling, no crying. Stand up. Today,
So you were giving her courage, Betos. Thank you for that, Pettine. We need that. We need that.
Yes.
So I think that will be something we could do. There's Nani Sikiti to listening in from Lotoko Hospital. Dr. Nani Sikiti. So what I can do from here on, after our interview, we can organize something online, a digital, maybe a chat group that
Like-
women can join in. We can in marama, and then we can look at the different regions of Fiji. For that moral support via phone, and also we can na marama to ren back nomuni bondo sen ren nomuni valenibula. We'll try and find a way where we can have some financial support for some of you who may be facing some tough times right now.
Yeah.
If you need a taxi fare to go to the hospital or you need
Yeah.
somebody with you, we'll be there.
Yes, we are always here. We may not have it all, but together we have it all.
Absolutely. Kwa hiyo alkumikini na babitiana na mbimbi ni sole baki. You know, when we work together and I live on a kind of route.
Very important.
To talk about this. Man, Vinaka valeu sa Pettine. To conclude our part 1 Talanoa session today.
Was a chiktalera to na Bollywood kito talay daki.
Gosta sabud. Sila talaga nangono ve ko Pettine tiko na no muvavi ni Vinaka vero no mu tumbu kerto keda no muvale na no tondo lo maniko tago makiko vako kote kiko na vengo na keda sara. I'll give this time back to you.
Yes. I know my mom was supposed to come online and listen and watch, but I think she's probably fishing, doing her fishing line if she's going fishing today, or maybe in her compound drinking the whatever. She's probably doing something else.
Yes.
But I know that they're going to watch later on because my sister is helping them with that. Thank you, mom and dad, for the stern upbringing, for the motivation, for the prayers, mom, the never-ending prayers, for molding me to be the woman that I am today. I will never reach your capacity, but I'm still there. I'm still here. I know I have a lot still to learn from you. Thank you for the woman that I've become and the woman that you've molded me to be. I may fall short in some things, in some ways, but I know I'm here to be, I would say, to be a lesson to a lot of women, lesson in a way that we do not leave things for the last minute. We take ourselves to get Metambula. Thank you so much for I would even say thank you for bringing me into this world. I may be looked down upon by some, but also on another side, I may be an inspiration to someone else. So for that, I am thankful. Vinaka na kita na visusu Vinaka na masu tawayalani visinga kede mbule na kalo. To my siblings, my sister especially, Eva, if you're listening, thank you for being there for me through it all from day one. To my sister-in-laws, to my two brothers, to my sisters, Pippa and Michelle. Thank you. And not forgetting Dr. T for this beautiful, amazing platform that you have created. I know we've been introduced through my auntie. That's how I got to know Dr. T, and we've been friends ever since, always supporting each other. Till today, I'm sitting in her platform and sharing my experience to all my sisters, my colleagues, my aunties, my cousins, grandmothers, for everyone watching this afternoon, night, morning in Fiji. May you all be blessed. Stay safe. Have a safe weekend. Please take yourself to the doctor.
Vinaka vakalev mundo Pettine Elena Manuel Vinaka vakalev sar nungu leo na ndambi tu bat keke mami na sigini ko klein sa bongi lev sar chungo me chamani. We are so thankful that you can be here to share your story, your journey with such an open heart and lots of love that everybody can feel it. Thank you so much. Even our medical doctors, our gynecologists were also present, and they were sharing their comments. Dr. Nani, Dr. Tema, and she's gone off to work now, but she sends her love and her blessings. It's lovely that she was online too, that she can be able to comment and share some of the medical terms associated with what you were sharing. There'll also be another panel next week with a number of doctors, medical doctors, and all Fijian women. So that's great. And we'll also invite Pettine to have another session with Dr. Tema, just the two of them together, especially with the focus on endometriosis. And also Dr. Tema was also saying that there will be one session alone just on menopause. Because a lot of women are asking about, there needs to be some discussion about menopause in general, because a lot of us, I remember, myself, we didn't know what to expect. Saya tu cukup sana kaya nga, we don't even know what's going on.
Exactly. And this is the same thing with endometriosis and hormones. Your hormones will be all over the place and you wouldn't know why. And you don't know how to tackle it.
So now, we can be able to talk about it. And also for our men, there's a few men who have reached out to me. There's a couple of them who wanted to share what they went through when their wives were ill. So that was really wonderful to see their perspective, what was going on with them, watching and helping where they can. So this whole month of December will be a whole month of health talk, health talanoa, and the veiwasei sarangakina. So Pettine, from all of us, Vinaka.
Thank you so much. You know what? I wanted to share something just fast.
Yes.
This is the first time I've sat. How long have we been on?
It's over an hour.
This is the first time I've sat for over an hour.
Wow.
I am not able to sit for long. 15 minutes, 20 minutes is the maximum I can sit for long. Not because of endometriosis. So right now, doctors are trying to find a diagnosis. So I'm going in and out of MRI machines and tests and God knows what else. So I am thankful and grateful that I was able to sit. Because God was a topic. So, see, minta vali uda tiko na kalo na nandambula, kinananda ngole nandambula. That's it.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Keda na raw ni luchuk nga nakalo. Sa Pettine. Lolo masarvali vero na bitamani. And we look forward to catch up again online and maybe plan for when you're free that we can do a session with you and Dr. Tem.
Yeah. Would love to have that one. Exactly.
Sandon. So you take care. You back on the Facebook page or any contact if some people want to contact you.
Contact me through Messenger. I am on Messenger. I am on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. So message me in any platform.
Okay. Yeah, I contact na nadam nga Pettine Elena Manuel. Okay, bikim ni na tarti kumain di binakatu manibitar tarbi Pettine na messenger ni gay pangaray ko nga na mona liba na ita nga Pettine Elena Manuel ni na rani reidi ko kina rani tomalatana nomuni veitalanoa kevaka ni Vinaka muni tomana na nomuni veiwasei vata ke ko bikim ni talanga na warong chikumai kevaka tiko na Talanoa ni Vinaka talanga ni mai wasei vaka ke Pettine ni ngai vitar-taranga mai ona marau medala me veitalanoa na siga ni ko salolong tian bikim ni kersara medo talanga ona katarava di moda mata Vinaka moda
Ai,
Vinaka ngai warong cuma Rowena Rooney, Rowena Manuel, salolong tian ni valevo in Islandi. Vinaka valevo. Mo toka.
le.
Bye. Aka.